Good afternoon on what is a bright, warm and sunny day. It is Sunday the 24th of April. I'm in the Read Nook and I have a nice hot cup of tea. And a parcel to unbox, fairly slim. Let's find out what's in here. Get the knife out. Slice from the plastic. Pull through. And what we have got here is this, which is You Are Deadpool. Now, your interesting thing is, why would I be looking at a comic book? Well, the thing is, it's a solo adventure book. If you have a look, all of the comic book panels are numbered. So this is a solo adventure book done as a comic. Now, that's not a new idea. We go back to things like You Are Diceman or You Are Margaret Thatcher, from Fleetway, which were done in the 80s, and were sort of like comics which you could buy, comic books which you could buy on the high street. So the question is, did you ever want to be Deadpool? Well, now's your chance. In this amazing role-playing romp, you decide what choices Deadpool makes. You keep track of your scores as the story unfolds. You roll dice to combat various foes. And we're watching, so no cheating. Determine your own destiny as you travel through Marvel history as Deadpool himself. Beating the Hulk in the swinging 60s. Smelling Man-Thing in the swampy 70s. Looking up Daredevil in the hardball 80s. And Marvel. And more, just to be sure to avoid the many bad endings you could fall into or suffer the consequences. Which basically, this collects You Are Deadpool issues 1 to 5 by Al Ewing, Salva Aspen, Paco Diaz, and Guru EFX. Now, of course, because it's a Deadpool title, does carry a parental advisory, and I never quite get that why basically parents ignore that, because I have worked in a comic shop and they've sort of come in and gone, I'll buy that, and you're thinking, is that really suitable for your young lad there? But that's by the by. So, this then essentially allows you to role play as the irreverent, basically fourth wall breaking superhero Deadpool, made famous by Ryan Reynolds in both films, this is available. You can easily pick it up. Got a whole list of other stuff in there which you can buy too. Interestingly, at the back, you actually have some content here. Let's have a look. So we look at the back. Bit more artwork. So you've got cover sketches there, and then we get into page more basic variant cover sketches, because comic book publishers do like their variant covers and have done ever since the 90s, with the launch of things like relaunch of like the X-Men and then the Death of Superman, big titles. But you've also got the breakdowns of the individual issues and the story paths there, if you wanted to have a look at those, and more there. So let's just have a look what we've got in here. So we've looked at You Are Deadpool, and essentially that's even done. That's a nice touch. I mean, it looks like they've actually gone out and they've actually studied kind of the format for these things for role-playing games, where you have these kind of boxes there. These are very sort of like Dungeons and Dragons-esque in their layout. With the use of the particular boxes, and then we've got their proper variants. So we've actually got Deadpool playing a role-playing game. You've got polyhedral dice there, and then are you ready to have adventure? Turn the page, because it has been established that comic book characters do engage in role-playing. For example, you have John Constantine in. Oh God! Essentially, Constantine has been established as playing Dungeons and Dragons. So here we go. Well, here we have Deadpool, who is name Deadpool, Class, very little. Alignment, chaotic, sassy. And we have the background. Deadpool, aka Word Wilson, is a level 3 mercenary with weapons mastery, amazing, unarmed combat, incredible, sad clown syndrome, melancholy, healing factor, shift X, and nasty faced, shift X. He may or may not be very tall hobbit. Currently he's chilling at home waiting for you to turn the page and begin the tutorial. Did I mention the tutorial? We put a lot of work into the tutorial. If you want the rules, you should probably play through it. I mean, you can skip it if you like, but it's your dollar. You should familiarise yourself with the boxes below too. You'll be using them to keep stuff in, so you actually have a badness score and a sadness score, which you're keeping track of. Here we are. He's actually playing in the comic. Welcome guys. Start playing as Deadpool. Start playing as me. This is all. This is all basically the tutorial, the introduction, and again we have that. I mean, we already have the fourth wall thing. Is essentially that he is talking directly to you as the reader, and then it gets even more fourth wall, where he introduces author Kieran Gillen, who isn't the author of this at all, but he is known as a role player. He's got his own comic ongoing, which involves sort of like elements of role playing, and he's building a role playing game around that. He is known as a role player, so he steps in and helps with the tutorial. So yeah, that's You Are Deadpool. Interesting, I think, from a role-playing point of view. You get to make the decisions. Obviously, you get to make the decisions of what the character does. But it's interesting that it's really only a comic book like Deadpool which would experiment with this kind of format. It's not something you would normally do with a comic book hero. But one of the aspects of a Deadpool character is that he breaks not just the fourth wall, but just about any wall he can find, in order to tell a story. He will go back and, as I said, with this you go back into time and meet up with various different characters from Marvel superhero history, and he's done that lots of times. Lots of different team-ups, basically lots of little confrontations with different, not just villains but also heroes as well, which is as you would expect. But with this, and obviously he's done the whole thing of Deadpool versus the Marvel Universe itself. With this, he gives you control, and has him meet various characters. And do ridiculous things like almost enter a maze-like thing. It's not really a maze; it's just a passage. But you can imagine, that being, do you hide there or whatever? I mean, basically, almost a computer game-like. And then we have various different characters. We'll even go back to the 60s with that kind of style of artwork and the vehicles and so on. And we have that's really nicely done, where he's meeting the Hulk. And then he gets involved in the hippie movement. Basically, you can tell that because he's wearing a beret. And if you're wearing a beret in the 60s, you're either in the military or you're a French existentialist, or a hippie. I say hippie, but you know what I mean. It couldn't get any more counterculture, and it's sort of visiting the left bank of the Seine in '68. And then this is also nicely done from the producers of the Rogue comic and Gambit comic, You Are Deadpool, the anti-hero role-playing comic, and that's done in the style of the Marvel superhero role-playing game, which TSR published in 1984. That's very much like the front cover to that. It's the role-playing game for Marvel superhero that most people kind of accept as being, you know, the definitive one, because it's the first one and they really grew up on it. And I think we have a 1970s version of Nick Fury, so we're doing the time travel as well, and then you know, encountering a man, wolf, and Dracula as well. It's all quite ridiculous. And then we leap ahead again. Another Dungeons and Dragons style. This is a Dungeons and Dragons style reference, where you have, you know, the Dungeons and Dragons wizard, whose name I believe is Morley from reading Game Wizards, but in that style, you know, on the front cover of a box set for basic Dungeons and Dragons, and get leap straight up into the 80s. So we have Bullseye there, and let's have a look, Daredevil as well, all very or Punisher as well, so all very gritty and imperial. So yeah, I mean, how much of a role-playing experience this is obviously going to provide is another matter, but it's again, it's that genre breaking, fourth wall breaking kind of writing that you do get with Deadpool, and it's no surprise that he would do a solo adventure book. You can get this in two cover formats, I believe, in that the actual you can buy it as a book, which is I've got here, or you can buy it basically as a deluxe set, which comes with the pencils and character sheets and even dice as well, I believe, in a little box set. But yeah, and if you're basically wondering why, you know, essentially I will be following this up with a review, and also the review itself will get a sequel, but I'll come to that basically in the review itself. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I hope you've enjoyed this, basically something different. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a parcel and a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit the subscribe button. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.